Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thanks for joining me once again here on Talk and Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today. And there's a lot to talk about. We have some recent results, as you all know, coming in from all parts of the world. Let's focus on the big boxing story, if you will, the victory by Gervonta Tank Davis over Ryan Garcia, and what those two had to say immediately in the aftermath of their fantastic fight. It was one we were all looking forward to. It was a 50-50, if you ask me. I think everyone pretty well was saying at the outset, well, I hope Garcia wins, but I know Tank is going to win. And so this is what Tank Davis had to say. I'm definitely the face of boxing, he said. Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay, after his seventh round knockout over Garcia down in Las Vegas. I didn't think that body shot would end it, but I saw his facial expression, and that's what made me take it to him. It was a good shot for sure. I thought he was going to get up, but I looked to play mind games. So when he was looking at me, I was looking at him, trying to tell him, get up. And he just shook his head. No. Garcia stated after the fact, he said, he just caught me with a good shot. I don't want to make any excuses in here. He caught me with a good shot, and I just couldn't recover, and that's it. He caught me with a good body shot, snuck onto me, and caught me good. I couldn't breathe. I was going to get back up, but I just couldn't get up. So congratulations to Tank. He's undefeated. Ryan Garcia, by the way, his post-fight comments were more along the lines of not only having a rematch with Gervonta in the near future at either 140 or 147, but he's got to pick up a couple of wins first, and admits that. So considering what had happened this past weekend, Garcia's now 23-1, 19 knockouts. He's not really in a position to be telling Tank Davis what weight the rematch needs to be at, but he thinks things could change in the future. Realistically, if his career, being the younger boxer, if his career skyrockets, there's a possibility we could see a rematch, but not really. Tank could lose if he fights Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, and then he wouldn't have that eight-side power to demand a catch weight and a rehydration clause if he has a rematch with Ryan Garcia. So we don't really know if he's going to find success in those big punches at 140-pound division. It's not a good sign that Ryan's moving up in weight after being stopped with a body shot, because fighters at 140 hit as hard, if not harder, than Tank. So we'll wait and see what happens with Ryan Garcia on that front. But in the meantime, I got to tell you this story out of UK. Apparently the fans over there watching the fight on DAZN were a tad upset due to some technical difficulties being experienced by DAZN as they were live streaming the fight, and they were forced to apologize after these issues had taken place. And now hundreds, probably thousands of boxing fans are flocking to social media to complain about DAZN and their broadcast of the pay-per-view clash. Keeping in mind, fans had paid $85 US dollars altogether to watch the huge bout that took place down at T-Mobile Arena, and boxing supporters suffered delays to their streams and accessing the broadcast, and that forced DAZN to take to Twitter, by the way. But fans were left fuming with those issues, as they should well be, even after the first bell. They said, "We are aware that some customers are experiencing small delays in accessing the pay-per-view broadcast after buying it. Rest assured, content will be available to you within a few minutes of your purchase. We appreciate your patience." However, hundreds replied in fury at the broadcaster and demanded a refund for their problems. One raged, "It's been over an hour and it still doesn't work." Another added, "Some customers, thousands, your app is too expensive and for this to be broken tonight." One said, "I waited an hour and ordered it elsewhere. I expect a refund." Another said, I waited an hour and it was not available. I expect a refund." It goes on. Anyway, so just thought I'd let you know, technology does have its flaws. Can't be perfect. And DAZN is now suffering under the weight of the wrath of the boxing fan. Another victor recently, David Morrell Jr. He's now 9-0, 8 knockouts. And he expects a fight between him and David Benavidez, and says it is 100% happening in September. He said the fight hasn't been made official yet, so it's unknown whether it will happen. But when Benavidez was asked to confirm that Morrell fight, he seemed ambivalent about it, not showing a lot of enthusiasm about the matchup. Morrell needs Benavidez' scalp to help him get the fight against Canelo Alvarez for himself. While the Mexican star has no desire to fight Benavidez, maybe he'll agree to face Morrell after he beats him. Some believe that it's dawned on Benavidez that he could lose to Morrell after watching him badly hurt his second consecutive opponent. Morrell isn't just knocking out his opponents, he's hurting them severely. With the money that Benavidez could be making fighting Canelo Alvarez, it's not surprising he's not enthusiastic about fighting Morrell. If he loses to the talented Cuban, he can forget about fighting Canelo. Morrell successfully defended, according to BoxNews24.com, defended his WBA regular super middleweight title on Saturday night, stopping Yamaguchi Falcoa, great knockout, by the way, in the first round in a chief support role on that Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia card. Said Dave Morrell Jr., I'm so excited. It was a big night for me. It was my first time in Vegas. It's crazy shit. It's everything. My first time, my first knockout in the first round. So it's an opportunity to become a big name and get the big next time. Get the big everything next time. I have to tell everyone at 168 that I'm here. I thought I heard him. Falcoa, that is. Everybody told me that he was okay. It's boxing. You know what I mean? I'm looking at you. You're looking at me. I don't want to lose. Thank God that Yamaguchi's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's talking shit. So fuck it. I tell everyone I got the belt. I'm here at 168. Everyone sees me. I'm ready. Yep, 100%. Maybe this year's Benavidez. Maybe no. It's okay. I'm a good fighter. It's good. Good fight for him and me. It's a good fight. I want Benavidez. That's it. It's a perfect fight. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me. There he goes, Dave Morrell Jr. Over in the UK, another mouthpiece, Jazza Dickens, reckons he could be in for a shot at the All-British Showdown. This is big news for British fans, not so much over in North America, but the IBO featherweight champion has been on the ring since winning the title back in October of last year. Dickens, who was a former British champion at the weight and has also previously challenged for the IBF crown, outpointed Rado Delamini in his hometown of Liverpool. Jazza holds a win over WBA champ Lee Wood and won a fight against South African Delamini on all three judges' scorecards. That's a Pro Bellum promoted card that featured another win for his fellow Scouser, Peter McGrail. The 31-year-old, and now 32 and 4, 12 knockouts, has no date mooted for his first defense of his bubble, but he mentioned Josh Warrington as a potential future foe on social media. Warrington, however, as reported by Boxing Scene's Jake Donovan, is expected to return on June 10th, potentially at the OVO Arena in Wembley in a headline slot on a DAZN show. And Dickens revealed earlier this week that he's done all he can to secure the fight with the ex-IBF king. I accepted everything that they offered me, he said when speaking to BoxingScene.com in a telephone call. That was it. That was the date, June 10th, Wembley Arena. I'm just waiting now to hear back and see what they want to do. Eddie Hearn, Josh Warrington's promoter, by the way, who Dickens targeted on social media when calling out the Leeds man, recently stated that a call would take place to see who would be in the opposite corner. So should he end up getting on that date. Warrington is 32 years old, by the way, has been out of action since December when he succumbed to his red and gold white crowned Mexican mandatory challenger Luis Alberto Lopez at the First Direct Arena in Yorkshire. The two-time king has a ledger of 31, 2-1, by the way. 8 quick finishes in the fight with Dickens is now on the table after it was initially thought that Warrington's opponent would be Christopher Diaz, 27 and 4, 17 knockouts, by the way. So, and another prediction down the road. Actually, another British story coming out of Sky Sports. After Martin Bakole's third-round demolition of Ihor Shevardnadze on Saturday night, Sky Sports' Johnny Nelson looks at the heavyweight's next steps, whether Deontay Wilder is an option or if Bakole can embarrass the division's other stars into stepping into the ring with him. So this particular author doesn't see many of the big names in the division fighting Bakole by choice. You look at him and you see he's big, strong, and rugged, but he completely beat up Shevardnadze on Saturday night. That wasn't just big and strong. It was calculated. It reminded the author of George Foreman, who has a big movie coming out, by the way. Bakole looked beatable, but you don't realize how strong he is, and skill is probably underrated. He can definitely box. It might not be the smoothest and slickest, but there's a method to his madness. He showed he can beat up and take out strength. There's a marquee win that got his name in the discussion, a real tick in the box. With all those men in the heavyweight division, he called out afterwards, do they want to face him? Do they have to? Yes, but they won't want to. He's in that who needs him club. He's dangerous, and there's little reward for fighting him unless you want a spot in the rankings. What will benefit his career is getting a title. And titles, or title, is what Tyson Fury has, and he could be offered a lucrative fight this year against Zhang, who's now recognized as a bona fide superstar in China, says his co-manager, Terry Lane. And I think there's something like 10 million boxing fans in China who did watch his clobbering of Joe Joyce the other week. So Zhang has expressed an interest in fighting against Fury following his 6-round stoppage of Joe Joyce. And his dramatic triumph drew a massive audience back in his home country, and hopes to fight now a historic fight between Zhang and, of course, the biggest name in the heavyweight division, Tyson Fury. Lane said, the win over Joyce in London made Zhang a legitimate sports superstar instantly in China. Woo, hang on, not 10 million, with over 30 million people viewing it there, and is projected even more will for his future matches. Wow. He was also trending on social media platforms, news outlets who rarely cover sports, much less boxing. They were all running stories on him. What this means is that we can now use the newfound interest in China and stage events there or distribute events there. This was Zhang's dream all along, and something that we've mentioned quite often on Talk and Fight, especially on the Friday night panel. Elsewhere, rising star Callum Simpson will take a step to greatness, says BoxingScene.com, when he returns to the ring on June 10th at London's iconic York Hall, as Adam Azim headlines in a WBA Continental Super Lightweight Championship bout with Aram Fanyan. The Barnsley Super Middleweight Simpson, 11-0, 9 knockouts, sensationally stopped Zhilei Neves last month in Manchester on his boxer debut. And the prodigal 26-year-old will be intent on creating more headlines when he ventures to the capital for the first time in his career this summer, live and in the UK and Republic of Ireland on Sky Sports. Unbeaten prospects Aaron the Silencer McKenna, 16-0, and Shaquille Dr. Steele Thompson, 10-0, meet in a mouth-watering middleweight contest for the vacant WBC International Middleweight Championship. The road to title contention also leads Big Fraser Clark, 6-0, to York Hall for what will also be his first appearance at the fabled British boxing venue. Having last week received news that he will be the next mandatory challenger for British heavyweight champ Fabio Wardley, the 2020 Olympic medalist will sharpen his tools in the ring on June 10th ahead of his summer title showdown. Cruiserweight prospect Vidal Riley, 8-0, 5 knockouts, and his antagonist Anis Taj, 7-3, have some unfinished business to attend to following their February war, ending unsatisfactory in a 4th-round doctor stoppage due to a cut above Taj's eyebrow. Elsewhere on the card, brother of Adam, welterweight Hassan Azim, 6-0, looks to extend his unbeaten start to life as a professional. English champ Sam Gilly, 15-1, will be out to light up his native East End after impressing last time out at Ali Pali last November. There we go. That, my friends, concludes this episode. It stayed up. Thanks, Carl. Appreciate it, Carl. I'm the home of Lee Wood, Nottingham, over there at Last Bell Boxing, chiming in. Yeah, it was a great fight. Yeah, it might have been a late night for you, but it was indeed a great fight. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. But anyway, I picked Garcia. Yeah, man, for me, it was a coin toss. I was going, height, reach, speed. But I always said they call Tank for a reason. And he got underneath him, gave him a decent liver shot, and knocked him out. All right, Talking Fight fans, appreciate your patience. Appreciate you listening. And join me later on at 4 p.m. when I join Mike Orr and Cedric Ben for their show, Knuckle Up, here on Talk and Fight. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we see you later on. Garcia drained at the weight. Yes, he did.